Okay, let's talk about the tab section. Let's decipher this and let's understand this a little bit better. The tabs, again, remember, house all of your checks, no matter if it's a table or not. All of your tabs are going to be in 3 different categories broken up here. We're going to have our open section, our pending section, our closed section, which is actually our 4th section, which is all, but it's all 3 of these all combined together. So if you see, when I click on open, I have my 4 tiles that are green that are open. When I click on pending, I have my 2 tiles that are pending. And when I click on closed, these are all my closed tiles or my closed checks. So what this means is this is the 3 different ways to look at your checks. Unlike other systems, you can look at all of your checks at a glance depending on what part of the sales process they're in. So your open checks are going to be obviously all of your checks that are open. Make sure, and sometimes we have the ability to see other checks. So if it does have everyone and you have more than one person working, you want to make sure that you select yourself, which is always going to be green when you're logged in at the bottom of the screen, and you'll know that that is you and will house all of your checks. If you have everyone selected, this will show everyone's open check, everyone's pending check, everyone's closed check. So always make sure that if you are doing shared access with the other servers and bartenders, that you do have yours selected when you're looking. So go ahead, and we're going through this. Open is going to show your open checks. Remember, 1 click on each check will show you what's on the check. 2 clicks will give you the ability to open the check and ring in items, but we're not going to do that, and we don't need that right now. So we're going to go through to the next one, which is the pending section. So after you take your open check and you take your credit card and you run your card, you chip your card, it's going to next go into, we're going to do a transaction actually right here on the screen. So let's send a tab. Let's ring in a pink Whitney. We're going to credit. We're going to do the Visa card as we're running a credit card transaction. This now shows that we ran the credit card. Great. We can add the tip immediately if we'd like, or we can reprint the credit card slips, print itemized receipt, or email this, or we can wait to input the tips later. Some servers, some bartenders want to input them at the end of the night. Some want to do it as they go. To do it as you go, the add tip right here will help you. But we're going to wait to the end of the night, per se. So let's go back to the tabs. And the end of the night, we're going to have however many credit card slips we have is going to be in the pending section. You cannot clock out, and you cannot be done with your session. You cannot be done with your shift without settling both your open and your pending checks. And we'll explain that in a minute. So now, as we see, we have 3 pending credit card transactions that are basically adding and asking that we need the tip included. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that first check and we're going to select it. Again, remember, select once on the tile will select and show you what check and what items are on the check. You can always know what check that is by the ticket number. But we're going to select this first item right here, and we're going to double click it. This is going to give us the ability to add a tip. And this is going to give us the ability to close out the check. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that this was a $5 tip. So we're going to add 5. Remember, we don't need to put a decimal here. And that's going to give us the total of what that check is. $11.24 plus the 5 will give us $16.24. If somebody wants to be cute and put math here and just put a total, that's no problem as well, because we can just put that there was a 0 tip. Instead, we're going to put $16.24, and it automatically calculates the tip. So either way, however you want to use this, you can simply add the tip, or you can add the total. It will calculate for you. Once that is done, then you will click this button to the right up here, Add Tip. Even if this tip is 0, you are still going to add tip to close out this check to complete this transaction. So for the sake of this guy is not too cheap, we're going to say $5, add tip, and now it's going to go from pending into the closed section, as we can see right here when we click on it, the pink Whitney closed. So the pending section, remember, is going to be the section where all of your credit card, after you run the credit card, you receive the credit card voucher back. This is where it's going to be. If you are on our mobile versions, you will not have this because the credit card receipt is essentially in the iPad, so you will not have this. But for this, those of you that have a station, this is where the credit card vouchers are going to be housed. Simply, again, double click, add the tip, add tip, closed out. Double click, we're going to say 0 tip, add tip. Again, even if it's 0, you have to close it out for the pending to be 0. Close section, pretty self-explanatory. We have all the closed checks. We can see that all of our checks from the beginning of the shift to the end of shift are going to be housed here.